And we are back with part 2 on phonics. Have you seen part 1 yet? Go on over and watch that before continuing here. We'll wait. And whilst we do that, take the opportunity to like and subscribe to keep seeing more from MyProgression. So welcome back, I'm Natalie from MyProgression, and this video is how to use phonics as part of your lesson planning and what an inspector will be looking for in your lessons. To recap, phonics is a method for teaching people how to read and write an alphabetic language. It's done by demonstrating the relationship between the sounds of the spoken language and the letters or groups of letters or syllables of the written language. Phonics in EYFS in Key Stage 1 and statutory requirements. Former Education Minister Michael Gove introduced phonics screening to all children aged 5 to 6 who were in Year 1 in September 2011. Year 1 teachers formally assess children in their class as to their understanding of phonic decoding at an age-appropriate standard and is a statutory requirement. This test is known as the phonics screening test. Children throughout reception in Key Stage 1 take part in daily phonics sessions. These sessions focus on key reading skills such as decoding to read words and segmenting the sounds in a given word to spell. During phonics lessons, we also teach children to read and write tricky words, also known as sight words. This is taught over 6 stages. Stage 1. Teach the common letter sounds. Stage 2, blending and segmenting simple 2 and 3 letter words. Stage 3, blending and segmenting words with simple digraphs. Stage 4, introduce alternative sounds for letters and common exception words, a step-by-step guide to teaching phonics. Stage 5, blending and segmenting more complex words. And stage 6, further digraphs and trigraphs. Systematic phonics instruction is significantly more effective than non-systematic or no phonics instruction in helping to prevent reading difficulties among at-risk children and in helping children overcome reading difficulties. Phonics programs you may come across in schools are many and varied, but there are a number of government-validated schemes. We've included a link to the many recommendations in the description below. Ofsted's Deputy Director for Early Education, Jill Jones, said, "We've made the early reading deep dive mandatory because it's so important that children learn to read fluently as quickly as possible." The School Inspection Handbook states that during all inspections of infant, junior, primary and lower middle schools, inspectors must focus on how well pupils are taught to read as a main inspection activity. The inspectors will want to see that reading is a top priority across the school for all children, regardless of their background, needs or abilities. In the early years foundation stage, there are 4 primary concerns that Ofsted expects to see addressed. Fostering a love of reading and sharing stories, poems and rhymes to develop vocabulary and comprehension. Having a secure, systematic, synthetic phonics program taught from the beginning of reception. Creating opportunities for children to read and reread books that match the phonics stage taught. An effective use of assessment to quickly pick up children falling behind and giving targeted support. In Year 1, there is a phonics check. It's important to understand what it's checking for. The aim of the phonics screening check is to give teachers and parents information on how children are progressing in their reading, to see if children can read different words using the phonics knowledge that they've been learning. Each test contains 40 words. The test is carried out one-to-one between the teacher and the pupil. The child must read out each word to their teacher. The 40 words contain 20 real words and 20 pseudo words, alien or nonsense words. If you look at the test, you'll see that the children also have fun with the nonsense words. The aim is to instill confidence, allow the children to explore and have a love of language. So in your teaching, make it fun, make it silly, but make it count. A day's teaching in EYFS. We really don't want you to be put off accepting work in EYFS if you feel you have little experience in phonics. Remember, there are always staff to ask, and also remember that you'll know more than the children you teach. If you have a pre-booked day on supply, why not ask which phonics scheme the school use? There are many phonics lessons online for you to have a look at. So if you know your school is using Read Write Inc., spend some time looking at an exemplar lesson. If this is an emergency booking and you feel out of your depth, talk to other staff. It's far better to get it right than to try and fumble your way through. Remember, EYFS staff, both teachers and teaching assistants, will be very familiar, if not experts in phonics, and you'll be able to be guided by them. Familiarise yourself and know the terminology of grapheme, digraph and split digraph. Make sure you use the letter sounds rather than the name. Remember, a phonics lesson is a small part of the day, but also integral to the teaching of reading, writing and spelling. However, the modelling of writing, the support of reading with children, along with writing with children, will allow you to constantly refer to and embed phonics into your teaching. Example, Mr. Byers, how do you spell dog? Ooh, let's have a think about that. Can you sound it out? What's the first sound you hear when I say dog? What's the middle sound? Now what sound do you hear at the end? Well done, that's great. You can spell dog. Many of the schemes use our whole school approach and will continue through Key Stage 2. For example, Read Write Inc. spelling meets the spelling requirements for the English National Curriculum for Years 2 to 6 and builds upon the teaching strategies and spelling activities from Read Write Inc. Phonics. If in a long-term position in a school, take the opportunity to attend any training possible that will upskill you as a professional and give you confidence to teach phonics, which will then support your teaching of reading, spelling and writing. You've got this. Please let us know in the comments box of any ideas, resources and videos that have supported your teaching of phonics in school. We're all in this together, and most of all, we want the very best for the children that we teach. If you'd like to support our community by suggesting future videos, then please pop them in the comments below. I've been Natalie from MyProgression, and let's keep your career in motion.